Module 5.1 Introduction to Hearing Structure and Function of the Ear. The human ear is an incredibly sensitive device, a truly remarkable piece of engineering. It can hear a frequency range of 20 Hz to 20,000 Hz, almost 10 octaves, a factor of 1,000 from the lowest to the highest frequency. Compare this to the eye, which senses frequencies of 4 to 7 times 10 to the 14th Hertz, which is not even an octave. The eye can sense 7 million color variations, but imagine the ability of the ear, able to identify one instrument sound in an orchestra, or one person's voice in a crowd. The ear can sense a huge range of pressure variations. The smallest change in pressure we can detect is 1/1,000,000th of the pressure of a sound that causes physical pain. Hopefully you're impressed. And now for some anatomy. The ear has three main parts: the outer ear, the middle ear, and the inner ear. The outer ear. The outer ear captures sound. In the outer ear, we have the pinna and the auditory canal or ear canal. The pinna acts like a funnel. It collects sound and channels it into the ear canal. It also helps with localization. The auditory canal is essentially a tube closed at one end. Sound travels through the ear canal to the eardrum. It contains wax and hair that protect the eardrum from foreign objects, and it is a quarter wave resonator that boosts frequencies around 4,000 Hz. This has major ramifications that we'll discuss later. The middle ear. In the middle ear, we have the tympanic membrane or eardrum. The eardrum is on the boundary of the outer ear and middle ear. It is a very thin membrane, about as thin as a piece of cellophane. That allows it to vibrate with minute changes in sound pressure. It is also riddled with nerve endings, which is why earaches and pressure changes can be so painful. Also in the middle ear are the auditory ossicles, three tiny bones referred to as the hammer, anvil, and stirrup, or malleus, incus, and stapes. The ossicles are the smallest bones in the body, and they reach full size by the time a child is born. The ossicles are attached to the eardrum at one end and to the oval window of the cochlea at the other end. These bones transmit the vibrations of the eardrum to the inner ear, amplify the vibrations, and also, with muscles that are attached to them, protect the inner ear from loud sounds. Also in the middle ear is the eustachian tube. Because the eardrum makes an airtight seal, we need some sort of pressure valve. The eustachian tube is a small tube that's about the diameter of a pencil lead that goes from the back of the throat to the middle ear. It equalizes pressure on the inside of the eardrum. Because the eustachian tube is so thin, sometimes it closes up. Once that happens, the air inside is trapped, and in certain situations, this can cause pain. For example, going up in an elevator or an airplane, air pressure gets lower. If the eustachian tube is blocked because of inflammation due to a cold, the trapped air with a higher pressure pushes against the eardrum towards the lower pressure. As the eardrum hyperextends, the nerves in the eardrum generate pain. Swallowing or chewing gum are ways to help open up a closed eustachian tube to equalize the pressure. The inner ear. The inner ear is a structure that is encased in bone. The cochlea is spiral-shaped, filled with fluid, and contains the basilar membrane on which lies the organ of Corti. In the organ of Corti are hair cells called stereocilia or just cilia. These hair cells react to the vibrations of the fluid in the cochlea, and as they flex, they transform the physical vibrations into nerve impulses that get sent to the brain via the auditory nerve. The hair cells in the cochlea are arranged in a manner such that the different regions of the hair cells are responsible for sensing different frequencies. Cells near the base of the cochlea, near the oval window, sense high frequencies. Hair cells at the apex or far end sense the lower frequencies. The coiled cochlea, if unrolled, would be about 3.5 centimeters or about 1.5 inches. As it turns out, each tenth of a distance of the cochlea is responsible for an octave of frequency sensing. So the relationship of distance to frequency is exponential, not linear. To review, the main sections of the ear are the outer, middle, and inner ear. The pinna collects sound, channels it into the ear canal, and helps with localization. The ear canal transmits sound to the eardrum, protects the eardrum, and boosts frequencies around 4,000 hertz. The eardrum is a thin, nerve-filled membrane that vibrates with changes in sound pressure. The ossicles are the 3 small bones that transmit vibrations of the eardrum to the inner ear, amplify the vibrations, and protect the inner ear from loud sounds. The eustachian tube equalizes pressure on the inside of the eardrum. The cochlea contains the hair cells that transform vibrations to nerve impulses and sends them to the brain. Hair cells near the base of the cochlea respond to high frequencies. Hair cells near the apex respond to low frequencies.